Okay, what's up, guys? Good morning. How are you? This is Dan, Bullish Bears Dan. I am going to do a little pre-market analysis for you guys. I've got my SPY chart up first. Wanted to show you guys kind of what I'm looking at with a few stocks this morning for some day trading options, kind of a typical thing that we do with our community. We've got options traders, penny stock traders, mid cap, large cap, everything in between. And typically lately I've been focusing on day trading options for our community. So I've got different watch lists and option strikes all pulled up. I'm looking at SPY 280 calls and puts today. I'll trade either one depending on the momentum. Looking at the hourly chart, we've been in a nice up channel, kind of widening a bit of a megaphone pattern. We had a right angle resistance, which we broke briefly, pulled back, got stuck underneath, and now futures gapped up. So we've got SPY gapping up. And going into the open, SPY's looking pretty strong above the 9 EMA hourly. There's opportunity for this to really move up as long as it can break. Now it is Friday expiration. It's a new month, so it should be pretty interesting to see what happens today. But we've got this resistance zone right now that's kind of got SPY pinned down. Will be interesting to see if SPY can break this 280.25 level. I'll look for potential profit taking today in the 281.31 range. So I'm just looking at this top range where, you know, there was a lot of bears were waiting here, right? There was a trend reversal up in this zone. So, you know, there's a good dollar or so to be made, pretty typical for SPY. So we'll be looking for that today. Nice ascending pattern. Want to see nice volume. Ride the 9 EMA type play for a profit of $1. So that's SPY. Looking at Tesla. We've got Tesla. Obviously had big news yesterday, was switching to online sales. We're opening gap down. Tesla ran into some right angle resistance up here. This was kind of the first warning that there was kind of trouble. You know, it's been in a bit of a downtrend for a while now, and you've got this rejection, pretty clean rejection of the resistance zone yesterday in the extended hours, and now we're trying to get back up. So looking at the hourly, we're coming right back up to that 9 EMA. I'm looking at this 9 EMA as kind of the line in the sand today. If Tesla can print an hourly candle up above this
Jet 1, 2, 3
308.50 level, that's going to be very good for Tesla, and I might potentially day trade some calls or puts depending on how it behaves. I'll be looking at some right angle resistance either at this 200 SMA on the 5 minute to kind of form. If that's a reject, we might find a nice falling wedge pattern. You know, just drawing this line as a hypothetical. I need to look and see where the volume increases and where the sellers come in. Otherwise, you know, maybe we head back up, we break and fill this gap right away. So we'll have to see how investors react with the Tesla news. Let's see. I'm also looking at Foot Locker. So Foot Locker had earnings, got the fibs, came up to close to one of my fibs, pulled back, and now it's resting pretty much right on that 9 EMA 5 minute. This could be a fun play today, up to 73. Or potentially backtest this 66.72 area. Let's see, angular support is, yeah, you got one support out here, you got another one out here. Looking at the 4-hour 180 day, there's really not much in the way of this. I haven't charted this one in a while, but it's a bull, you know, so far looking pretty good for an ascending pattern. Would really like to see it break to take a long position. I'd like to see it break this level right through here. That's about 68.82. So somewhere in that range on volume. if I can get a good entry off the 9 EMA 5-minute, this might be a fun one to make a play up to the 73 level. And I'm also looking at Etsy again. So this one I actually have an alert already preset. Would like to see it break this extended hours high from yesterday. This one's been in a nice, very nice move. It really hasn't back tested in a while, other than this hourly back test up here. There is this other trend line I'm watching for it to pull back to. If this pulls back really hard and bounces in this zone, this is the $69 range, you get a really nice V bottom, or just some type of inverse head and shoulders, cup and handle sending patterns start to form off this 69 range. I might take an early entry in anticipation of a 72.50 breakout. It's got an overall nice channel on it, so the range is pretty easy to figure out on this hourly channel. And you know, there's good meat on the bone up to the 76 range. If this 72.55 can break, you know, and the bulls are in control today with SPY, then we'll trade with the trend. All right, let's look at Apple real quick. So Apple yesterday tried to get close to its extended hours range, rejected, ended up kind of in a downtrend, formed a pretty nice channel on it. So you can see right through here, this is pretty strong resistance. It is forming a bit of a consolidation triangle wedge, and it's got a nice range on it. So you're looking at 174.50 to 173. So there's a good $1.50 range. I really like to trade options on this one. They're very liquid. You trade at least a week, 2 weeks, month out. Anywhere from a week to a month out is usually pretty good for day trading options with Apple. If Apple can break this triangle, then there's a chance it can go up and test that 175.87 high again, get back up into that range. So if the chart setup looks good, we got all our moving averages lined up properly, the volume's good, we break this level, great. If not, I'll be looking for this to possibly retest its extended hours lows around 173 again, and that, you know, then maybe we get a V bottom again. I'll look for some type of reversal pattern, or maybe a bear flag, and then it breaks and continues to the next support level. But looking at the overall pattern, it's got a decent range on it. It's got a good setup. There should be something for traders today on Apple. Let's see. I don't know if I put this in the ticker. Yeah, I did. GPS at earnings today. I'm looking at this one. It's been kind of pop and fade. It looks like it's going to build a consolidation triangle. So I'll be looking for this to kind of pull back and then potentially break out. Overall, GPS has been in a pretty solid channel. So this is something I'll be watching to pull back and dip. Hang on one second, guys. I got to step away from the computer for a minute. Okay, I'm back. So GPS already below the hourly 9 EMA, just a tad. Would like to see this pull back a little bit more. You know, you've got support around 23.50. It's, you know, it's up here at 30. You got the 200 SMA and the 5-minute. This could be good for a potential short play today if this really fails. This thing could go all the way back and fill the gap. No pun intended, because it is gap, but wouldn't that be interesting? So this one's on my watch list for potential bounce here. Breakdown might just completely pull back and be a really good short today. We'll have to see how that one goes. Let's see. Oh, Square. I want to cover Square. So Square was probably the best one yesterday in terms of price action. And you got this cup and handle here at resistance and then the rejection. So I would look for this to actually cup and handle again and then potentially break out today. So I'm leaning to the bullish side, although I'm prepared for this to go either way. But I would like to essentially see, this type of pattern and then a breakout somewhere in the handle. Potentially get stopped here, but there is room to run above. I'll show you guys in a minute. I'll expand out, go back a little bit further. Looking at this, I mean, the half-hour chart, we're already below that 9 EMA. This is the hourly chart. It isn't a big wedge, and it is below this 9 EMA. So there might be, if we don't get a lot of volume soon on this cup and handle pattern or inverse head and shoulders that I'll be looking for might not form, and there might be a much better short setup because it's at the top of this triangular wedge and it's retested. So there was a bunch of bears waiting here for this retest to jump in on this short. There were other people looking to take profit after this retest. So I think Square's, again, kind of like in a situation with Apple where it's got a pretty defined pattern and range and decent meat on the bone for a trade. Thanks, Adam. There's a really good setup here on Square. So I think out of all of them, if I had to narrow it down, I think Tesla, Apple, and Square are probably amongst my favorites. And then I'm just going to show you guys Nvidia. We threw this in here. Nvidia's been in a nice triangle, consolidating, similar to Apple's, a little bit different of a angle or vector. Hourly popping up. You've got the hourly chart, 50 SMA, 90 EMA, 200 SMA, all kind of bundled up here, which I really like to see. And there's a good potential for Nvidia to break out above, not yesterday, but the day before, Wednesday's high range. So there's a little bit of room up to 158.75. We're at 156.50. So there's a little bit of meat on the bone. If we do break this level, I'll look for this next high. This was Tuesday's high in the opening range, for bears to be waiting in that zone. And then above it, you've got a couple other ranges to watch out for. But it's under pressure. I'm not expecting a big move out from this one. It's not going to be very high on my watch list because I feel like the upside is pretty well capped in here. I may look at this for a good reversal. Then the play gets a little bit more lucrative. If this really rejects hard off this 159 area, then there's a good short setup down to 157. So there's a $2 to $3 move, especially if it rejects here and then retraces all the way back to these lows, which it seems to keep wanting to do. It's kind of broken out of, this is what I look for. You break these little mini descending triangles, and then it just comes all the way back and retests before running again. So it would be funny to see this thing do it quickly. I would prefer it move up and then retest, but we'll have to see. So I'll look at Twitter really quick, and then I gotta head back to our trade room. Guys, if you want to join our trade room, we've got an awesome setup. Different people sharing charts, live streaming, audio. It's got a very Discord-like feel where you could have multiple speakers a lot of times talking and conversing. And, trading these, showing these setups in real time, giving you guys analysis in real time. So if you guys would like to come check us out, you can check us out, zero risk. So let's look at this with Twitter. I like it breaking this down channel and I like the slow rise on this one. It's kind of pretty slow and steady. Looking at the extended hours, you've got a range here, you've got a range here, lows, highs. I know there's a daily moving average I need to look out for with this one. Yeah, see, you got that 9 EMA is pretty much right here, 50. We're getting back above the 50. That's where things start to get interesting. That's this purple line on Twitter. That 50 is right there at what, 31, 35. And this is where I switch to TrendSpider a lot of times. Is I'll pull up TrendSpider and I'll take a 5-minute chart and I'll compare it to a daily chart. And I'll just pull up, I'll get rid of all the trend lines sometimes and drawings, and then I'll look at the daily 9 EMA. Look, there you go. So I can see 5-minute candles coming up against that daily 9 EMA. This is a major area of resistance. If we see price, thanks JJ, if we see price start to get above this 31.10, there's a really good chance for this thing to bull to one of these next ranges. Now, that's where I jump back over to my daily trend lines. I look and try to find where the daily trend lines are, where are the 5-minute trend lines. You got not too much daily resistance in here according to TrendSpider, but you do have some 5-minute resistance. So any one of these trend lines could potentially hamper any Twitter runs that potentially build up. And that's why we recommend TrendSpider to you guys, because it's probably one of the most useful tools that's out there. If you want to check out our review and videos, we've done a bunch. I'm going to post it in the chat so you guys have the link. Hopefully that link works. I don't think I've ever posted a link in YouTube chat before. But check it out, guys. It's really useful. You've got multi-time frame analysis. You can compare 4 charts at once with 4 different time frames, and you can set alerts, multi-time frame alerts. So if I want to see when, I want an alert when 5-minute candle crosses the 9 EMA and the RSI on the daily is not overbought, then TrendSpider will send me a text and alert. I'll get a message, and then I will potentially place a trade based on that alert. So all right, guys, good luck to you. Got a minute to the bell. I'm going to be watching my trades, my trade setups today. Good luck to you guys. Always trade safely. And remember, check out our website. We usually have some kind of offer so you guys can try us out and get a discount. And we always give a 2-week guarantee. So if you guys try out the monthly, you don't end up wanting to stay like it, we'll refund your money. So there's really no risk in checking us out. So good luck, guys, and we'll see you later.